Welcome back to the Sideline Sorcerers, and I hope that you listened to our picks from last week, because if you did, you are absolutely rolling around in Bezos cash right now, aren't we, Rhett?
I mean, I'd have to say it was pretty valuable to listen to us last week. We put up some big numbers. It was exciting.
Yeah, we just went and bought a Lamborghini to split amongst us.
Yeah, we got a Lambo, we got a little yacht.
Yeah.
Work on the beach house after this week.
Absolutely, yeah. If we have another 14 correct game week, I'm sure we'll be able to afford that beach house.
Might be able to go to the moon, dude.
I sure hope so. That'd be downright excellent.
Yeah, I'm excited to get into it. It's always nice to come into the week when you actually, were right about most of the stuff. It's a little bit kind of humbling when you come in with like a with a 5-12 record or whatever it may be.
Thankfully, that has not yet happened to
No,
either
yeah,
of us.
it won't. But it's like, when you come into class and your homework's already done.
Yeah.
And you just, sit there and chill while everyone else works.
Right.
But if you come in and you have to grind it out, pressure's on. So
yeah, that is ideal.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, so we don't have to worry about any of that crap.
No. This was a good week. We were on top of it today.
Yes, sir. So, Rhett, 14-2.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I don't know. I wasn't feeling amazing. I said my voice was a little off last week, but I just kind of went nuts. Some of these I have to say I did get a little lucky with. The Rams almost blew their 23-point lead. Cleveland, I didn't know was going to not start Deshaun Watson, so got a little fortunate there. Mm-hmm. Tampa Bay, I thought they were going to start Jameis, or New Orleans was going to start Jameis Winston. They started a very, very injured Derek Carr, so that was an easy one. But almost all the games this week were blowouts, which is kind of crazy. Not the best week of football. Mm-hmm. Hopefully next week is better, but a few games definitely were pretty exciting in there. Honestly, the Bears-Denver game, Chiefs-Jets was kind of a weird, interesting game. But if you look at it, almost every single game was a blowout.
Yeah, you are absolutely correct. And I want to point out that you honestly had a real shot to go 16-0 here because not in terms of the game script, but in terms of you love to pick Tennessee.
I know.
And I'm surprised that, you also love Burrow.
I do love Joe Burrow, but he is proving to be like a little wounded gazelle over the last few weeks here, and he will continue to be so.
Right. But yeah, you certainly, I could have foreseen you picking Tennessee to win that game.
Yeah.
And if you just hopped on the Houston trade, bro.
I'm not doing it. I'm still not hopping on the Houston train, although I love CJ Stroud. But yeah, it could have been a 16-game week, although I was literally thinking about this exact same thing today. I was like, well, if I had the train of thought to pick Houston and maybe Tennessee, that train of thought might not have had the same insight to pick Baltimore or the Rams or whatnot. So everyone has their own little grind set, but I'm very content with it. I don't think I've ever had that much success ever, in a given week. So I'm very, very, very pleased. I should have bet more money on all these games, considering how predictive it ended up being. But we're just going to dive right in with the week 4 assessment here. Detroit at Green Bay. Very happy to see Detroit flipping the script. Aaron Rodgers is gone. No one's scared of Green Bay anymore. Their defense, like I said last week, is much better than people give it credit for because everyone just looks upon how bad it's been historically. But Aiden Hutchinson was all up in Jordan Love's face. Mm-hmm. They had a little resurgence there in the last half, but wasn't enough. Jordan Love, like I said, he kind of got exposed. He didn't have the best game ever, but I still think he's fine. Just, a young quarterback growing against a really good team. So
yeah, I picked Green Bay in this one, and I kind of had a change of heart halfway through the week. But obviously,
I know, dude, you flipped. Bam! I convinced you.
Yeah, if anyone saw the short video that we posted, I picked Detroit to win the game in the short, and so something transpired.
Dude, you woke up. You must have had a vision, dude. Jared Goff came to you in your sleep.
He did. Yeah, dude. I was in the middle of a little dream, and Jared Goff just whispered in my ear. He's like,
you came with a great parlay. Would have come through for anybody who bet on it.
Right. I hope that the 100 and some people that watched it actually did bet on it.
Well, that's why you guys got to tell your friends. Do you want to make money or not? Maybe you don't want to tell your friends because you want it all for yourself, but tell your friends.
Yeah,
I mean, be a guy.
Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely be posting more of those so you can enjoy the Bezos cash with us.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll be generous enough to share it with you guys.
Right.
And we give so many more picks. Like Colin Cowherd just does Blazing 5. We do like freaking Blazing 16 every week.
I would agree. Right. So, yeah. And I can't wait for you to share.
Yeah, so next game here, Atlanta at Jacksonville. This was an easy game for me. I was a little surprised you picked Atlanta. Jacksonville, basically a home team in London. They're in London again this week, although they're technically designated as the away team. But I think they will have a great shot again. You know, honestly, I'm going to pick Buffalo, but in London, it's like their second home. Desmond Ridder just looks awful. He's worse on the road. They look flustered, and Jacksonville bounced back after getting routed by Houston. So this was what I like to see, even though it was nothing flashy. Did you see they had like the Disney Plus version of this game where it was like Toy Story-ified?
Yeah, that's actually the reason I picked Atlanta, because I was going for some alliteration with Atlanta and Andy's Room.
Oh, wow.
Like a little double A action.
I kind of like that, yeah.
Yeah, but obviously it didn't come through for me. Atlanta just looked so terrible out there.
Yeah, it was not that at all.
Yeah, Ridder threw back-to-back picks, like on 2 consecutive throws.
Was it?
Yeah, so it was like the one drive, he threw the pick, and as soon as he got the ball back, threw another one.
I can't imagine that this guy came into Notre Dame and beat us, dude.
Yeah, it's unreal. I thought for sure they were going to pull him. I was honestly quite surprised that they left him in there.
They should. Taylor Heineke will give them a better chance to win.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, then we got the Rams at Indianapolis. The Rams went up 23-0 and blew that. Somehow still managed to win overtime. Stafford, always good for 1 pick, but he did play pretty good. Back up, some good yards per attempt, nice touchdown, a lot of yards. Anthony Richardson, although he was only 11 for 25, he had 2 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. So very productive. Good to see the young quarterbacks, him and CJ Stroud, mainly playing well already so early into their career. Like, it's very good signs for them.
Yeah, I love seeing those sneaky rushing touchdowns out of Richardson. That's every single week now he's had one.
I know. I mean,
he set out.
We're predicting that he would be, very mistake prone, but also put up a lot of numbers. So kind of like Justin Fields in the sense that the offense runs through him. Like if they're going to score in any capacity, it will be because of him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, then we got Baltimore at Cleveland. This one was so weird. Like I literally saw a notification on my phone. Watson out, Carr in. I was like, that can't surely be Deshaun Watson, right? Like, why? I had no idea he was banged up. Literally not a slightest clue. But yeah, when you have to toss Dorian Thompson-Robinson there out of UCLA, I think it is.
Yeah.
God, he was just way in over his head. 3 picks, looked awful. Got David Njoku the most yards he's had in any game so far this year, though. But yeah, I thought it became a pretty boring game once Deshaun Watson's pulled. Hopefully we can get a better game when they have the rematch in Baltimore later. Yeah, Deshaun didn't play. Lamar Jackson looked good. And that's that with this one.
Yeah. It seems like the Browns cannot handle these injuries very well. Chubb out and Deshaun out. I don't know how long he's going to be out for. Hopefully he'll be back
they have a bye.
That's right.
So I think he'll be back the week after that. Because, I didn't even know he was hurt, so it can't be that serious.
Right.
No one was talking about it during the week.
Yeah, I didn't even know.
He played great the previous week at Tennessee. Like, he had a complete game.
Right. Yeah, I didn't even have the foresight to sit him in my league because I thought that he was in.
I know, dude. It was so sneaky. It was stupid. Then you got Minnesota at Carolina. Carolina jumped off to an early lead, I think off of Kirk Cousins' pick 6.
Yep.
But surely enough, Minnesota came back and won this game pretty easily, 21-13. Again, a very boring game here. Bryce Young is continuing to struggle. I think if you play Andy Dalton in this game, he might have won it for them. I do think Andy Dalton gives them a better chance to win right now than Bryce Young. But I understand that they want to give the young guy the reps. But, yeah, Kirk Cousins had an unusually low game for him in terms of yardage. Usually he puts up about 400, but no, I think only about like 200, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks.
Yeah, it seemed like they were rushing it way more this week with
Cam
Madison.
Akers involved, Madison. So, yeah, probably good sign for Minnesota not to go 0-4.
Right.
Then you got Cincinnati at Tennessee. Game that I probably should have predicted. I just thought that Joe Burrow and the Bengals could build off the win at the Rams, but they are continuing to struggle. almost a repeat of their opener this year in terms of they only put up 3 points, and their opponent put up like over 27 or something. So very disappointing, and I think that they probably should sit Joe Burrow to let him heal up, because this is not doing him or the Bengals any good. Yeah, they're starting to like lose, people like Jamar Chase is getting all fed up, and he's not healing like he should be, and they're losing.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I think this year is just going to be like, you could write the Bengals off this year. Next year, they'll probably be okay, though.
Yeah, it's just absolutely unheard of after him signing that insane contract this year.
It's just like, he has his injury. He missed a lot of time in training camp, and they're still putting the boy out there. He's not making many mistakes, but he's not able to plant that back foot to throw the ball down the field. Right. He's got the lowest yards per attempt in history, minimum 150 pass attempts, I believe, which is unusual for him. He always usually leads the league in yards per attempt. He always passes the ball down the field. Him, Stafford, Tua, those are some guys that are really good at that. Aaron Rodgers was always good at that. Some guys that are not as good as that, like Josh Allen usually doesn't have super high yards per attempt, but he has been fantastic with that. This year, he's the worst.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
I mean, it's all the injury, dude. Like, he can't plant that back foot because his calf's all banged up, so he's just dumping it off. Nothing like longer than 12 yards. So,
yeah, it has to be that because like he still had all of his receivers until this week after T got injured with a broken rib.
Yeah, that's not ideal either.
Yeah, he just does those little 5-yard dump-off passes, and it's not doing them any good.
Yeah, no, and they said that they're still going to start him against Arizona.
Yeah, that's
I don't know. I mean, I think
dangerous.
that you could still probably maybe even win at Arizona by putting in a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have, I think it is a rookie quarterback, Jake Browning. I have no idea where he's from, but...
yeah, I don't know either.
Oh, I like the Bengals a lot, so this is sad to see. But I do like the Titans. Good for them. Tannehill's another guy who, if he actually plays well, he has a high yards per attempt. He almost had 10 yards per attempt. Had a pick, but...
Derrick Henry, though.
Well. Yeah, Derrick Henry.
A nice passing tud.
Yeah, they love that play, dude. They used that in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And they used it one other time. I think they used it maybe against Buffalo. I know they used it against Baltimore in the playoffs in 2020. And I think they might have used it against Buffalo. So, yeah, they have that play up their sleeve like once a year.
It's so sneaky. I love it.
I know.
Sly Fox action.
Yeah. Derrick Henry, the Sly Fox. The big Sly Fox.
Yeah.
Then you got Tampa Bay at New Orleans. I was honestly unsure about this pick, even if Jameis Winston started as the backup, but they put in Carr, a very banged-up Carr. This is similar to the Joe Burrow situation, starting an injured quarterback. I think Jameis Winston's highly competent, even though I think he came in and threw one pick. Like, one attempt, one pick.
Yep.
Good job, Jameis.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, Baker Mayfield was awesome. 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. New Orleans' offense is abysmal, and... they started off great, 2-0, but now, I mean, it just looks like their season's pretty much done. I mean, Derek Carr is banged up. He's not playing well. And when you lose at home to a division rival, it doesn't look good. I think Tampa Bay or even Atlanta is going to win this division now.
Yeah, definitely. All Carr was able to do was just dump the ball off to Kamara.
Yeah, just like Burrow.
Yeah, these little bozo passes.
I just don't know why they started him, dude. Like, Jameis is competent. Yeah. I know he threw the pick. But he is competent. I mean, he used to be a Buck quarterback. Probably has a little bit of revenge factor in there.
Yeah, I mean, they have to start pushing the ball downfield.
Yeah, I mean, they can. They have Olave and Michael Thomas. They have weapons.
Yeah, I was about to say, Olave is clearly a deep threat, and he constantly seems to go deep, but Carr just could not get him the ball.
No. I mean, he had the shoulder, so it's a different injury than Burrow, but it's still affecting him in a similar way.
Right.
Miami at Buffalo could have been the game of the week, and it looked like it was going to be. It was back and forth, 21-14. Then Miami decided not to score anymore.
Yeah.
Buffalo just absolutely panda-quaked them, dude. I have to say, I remember saying in like episode 1, Josh Allen had regressed. Not ready to like pull that back just yet, but I mean, he's playing fantastic over these last few games.
Absolutely.
I mean, he had 5 touchdowns in this game, 4 passing, 1 rushing. He looks awesome. He's really happy for the guy.
And he's dialed back the turnovers incredibly since week 1.
And that's what you need to do. I mean, Miami's defense is bad, but like he still played great. And
right.
very, very happy that they're also trying to like get, James Cook involved, who's run the ball well. They're not having Josh Allen just go out there and do everything. So
right.
take a little pressure off him, and it works out for the best. So I was happy about this. Hopefully, though, when they play in Miami later, it's a little bit more of a dogfight because, like I said, almost every game it's been a blowout. And this one, you wouldn't have thought would have been a blowout, but it was. Although I did see a stat, teams who score like over 60 points are 1-6 the next week, which is kind of crazy to me.
That is wild.
It's like if you put up a monster day, you're probably going to lose next week for whatever reason.
Yeah, that is a weird stat.
Must be a psychology thing.
Or maybe Vegas just tricks you with it.
Vegas is sneaky.
They are.
Denver at Chicago. I was very happy, though. Chicago has not had a 300-yard passer in a long time, like sometime since probably Trubisky. And Justin Fields has never had a 300-yard passing game. You know what? Maybe Nick Foles had a 300-yard passing game, but either way, Justin Fields had never had that many yards in a game. That was awesome. I mean, he had one of his best passing games ever. I mean, to go what was it, 16 for 16 at some point is absolutely insane.
That was a record, I think, right? It was like a record for the most ever completions in like a half.
Really?
I believe
it's very possible. I mean, I looked at the stat line. I mean, he was throwing it like 14 yards an attempt at that point. They were just carving up Denver's defense just like Miami did last week. But then the coaching just really failed Chicago here. Obviously, putting aside the fact that they let Denver back into the game, they had a chance to kick a field goal, 4th and 1 at the end of the game, decided to go for it. Bad play, first of all. Second of all, they didn't get it. And then Denver just went down the field and kicked a field goal and won the game. And then Justin Fields threw an interception to eliminate their chance of coming back. So, I mean, he started off great. Then he fumbled. Then he kind of got like strip sacked. It was kind of a weird, I almost thought it could have been an incompletion, but whatever. And then obviously the interception at the end. Probably, though, one of his best games ever. Just kind of like it's bad coaching. And I think that it's a very defining moment for what we'll see go on with Chicago as the year comes to a close. As in the coach is getting fired. But they'll keep Justin Fields.
Yeah, I would honestly be surprised if they didn't fire him mid-season.
Yeah, it's possible. But, also right now, though, on the bright side, they have the 1 and 2 picks in the draft. Because they have theirs, and then they have Carolina's, which is also 0 and 4.
So keep Eberflus around just so they can get...
No. Get him out of there.
Oh, I thought you meant like until the end of the season, like keep him around.
Oh, so they keep losing?
Yeah.
Not a bad idea, actually. Yeah. I think, I mean, usually the mid-season fires are rare. Like, you'd have to really fuck up. Like, Brandon Staley level.
Yeah, I mean, but they look so abysmal out there.
I mean, I know.
How do
really
they blow
especially on defense. Matt Eberflus is a defensive guy.
Right.
So, yeah.
I still don't know how they blew that lead. It's just wild to me.
And it's been weird because, like, Russell Wilson's been great in the first half and bad in the second half. This game...
It was Justin.
He was, and then Russell Wilson actually played well in the second half. So I think it's a good sign of things to come for Denver. Chicago can maybe build off this, but I just, very odd. I mean, it's a huge 21-point freaking choke job.
Yeah, they were just giving up there.
Yeah. Washington and Philadelphia was probably the best game of the week. Unexpectedly, didn't think after getting blown out by Buffalo they would stand much of a chance at Philadelphia, but they almost pulled off this game. I think they even had the lead at some point. Sam Howell is back to playing great after throwing 4 picks at Buffalo. And honestly, that kind of tells me Buffalo is a serious Super Bowl contender this year. Seeing the Chiefs struggle at the Jets, I honestly like a Buffalo Niner Super Bowl this year.
That'd be electric.
That would be pretty awesome. I would like to see that. I mean, Buffalo, if what they did to Miami after what Miami's done to everyone, what they did to Washington after what Washington's been able to do, it's just like, what?
Yeah, I would love to see that, especially just for Josh Allen. I feel like he's been stroked out of a Super Bowl, with the Chiefs game. And there's just been so many instances. I just really would like to see him there.
I agree. And it harks back to what I said that like the Bills were more upset that Aaron Rodgers went down that first game than the Jets were because they were just like, oh, we don't get to play against Rodgers. And then they just were like, they blew that game.
Yeah.
I think you run that game like 100 more times, they win that game every time.
Agreed.
Anyways, though, yeah, Philadelphia came back, won it in overtime, though. I think Washington should have gone for 2 when they scored the touchdown there at the end to try and just steal a win on the road against the better team. But when you go overtime against like the defending NFC champions, you're not your
not going to
chance
win.
is not that good.
Yeah.
So yeah, Philadelphia pulled it off. Jalen Hurts played pretty well. I mean, Philadelphia just looks like they did last year. I mean, they look really good.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike a lot of teams, they come back the next year and don't look as good. And like even the Chiefs, they just don't look as good.
They really don't. I think it's just part of Mahomes doesn't have good receivers to throw it to anymore.
No, yeah, he doesn't. So yeah, Philadelphia came through. Next up, though, Pittsburgh, another Pennsylvania team at Houston. Really thought, I was almost going to pick up CJ Stroud off the waiver wire for one of my fantasy teams. But then I looked at his next schedule. He had to go up against some tough defenses. Pittsburgh, New Orleans, I think New England might be in there. I was like, nah, I'm going to hold off on that. Those are tough defenses. Absolutely nothing for CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud up there with Justin Herbert and some of the, probably the 2 best starts to any season or any career for a quarterback ever. I mean, he is making little to no mistakes. Granted, he wasn't super accurate, 16 for 30, 304 yards. But again, his yards per attempt are out of the world. Not making mistakes, and he's winning games.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't even have fantastic receivers to throw to, but he's just making it work.
He's giving career years to Tank Dell and Nico Collins. So really happy for him. He looks great. And I probably should get on the Houston train. I do think they will run the roadblock eventually. But yeah, I mean, Kenny Pickett got injured before that, though. He looks bad. He's the one that's definitely regressed. He's going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks, I think. Mitch Trubisky back in the game. Let's go, old bear. Yeah, so Pittsburgh, you can write them off this year. Who else did I say you could write off this year?
I don't know, dude. Maybe
Cleveland? No. Who did I say?
Cincinnati.
Oh, Cincinnati. Yeah, write off Cincinnati, write off Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh might be revitalized with Trubisky because every time the Bears get rid of a player, they seem to just absolutely pop off on another team.
Yeah, but last year when Trubisky started for the Steelers, they did not look great.
No, that's true.
So, but yeah, good for Houston. Good for
dude, you
CJ.
need to become a Cowboy. Start riding the Texans.
Yeah, maybe. Not this week, though. Not this week.
That's a crazy pick.
Plus, I'm just letting you have them. You started them 2 weeks in a row now. Mm-hmm. They're yours. I don't want to step on your toes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't know, dude. I just think that you're giving me a free game every week.
Well, we'll see about that. Now. Come on now. You really think that CJ Stroud, rookie quarterback, Houston's going to win 3 games in a row?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, you've been dogging on him too much.
All right. Well, we'll see about that.
Watch you go 15-1 next week because you didn't pick Houston.
I would be pretty mad. I would honestly be pretty mad if that happened.
Yeah.
Vegas at the Chargers. I just want to say I'm glad Vegas started Aiden O'Connell instead of Brian Hoyer. We know what Brian Hoyer is, career backup, but Aiden McConnell is a little more exciting. Mm-hmm. He actually played okay, but he is going to have PTSD for Khalil Herbert. Khalil Herbert sacked him. Oh, my God.
Khalil Mack.
Jesus in the morning. Khalil Mack sacked him 6 times. Jesus.
Yeah, one away from the record. Single game record is 7.
Yeah, I think he had 0 sacks going into that game and now has the lead in the league. I mean, Aiden McConnell's going to be terrified. You could probably make a horror movie about Aiden McConnell. It's like Five Nights at Freddy's, Aiden McConnell and Khalil Mack. Poor guy. But Raiders offensive line, bad. Raiders just bad in general. Coaching for Brandon Staley, also bad because they went for it on 4th down again, didn't get it. Almost blew the game. So they need to stop doing that. But they got lucky again here. But the fact, it really shouldn't have been this close for a rookie quarterback at home. Raiders, just bad all around. But yeah, I mean, Justin Herbert had kind of a weird game. I think he had 2 rushing touchdowns.
Maybe.
Is that true?
It might be true.
1 rushing touchdown?
Something like that. But then he just came out with that weird hand injury. And so that's where the Chargers just kind of faltered there.
Yeah, I mean, I hope he's all right. I think he'll be fine.
I mean, Vegas almost came back and won that game. I don't know if
I was a little scared because that was like the last leg in my parlay.
Yeah.
I was like, if I go 13-3 and that's the one that I get wrong,
that'd be egregious. But glad it came through for you.
Yep. Arizona at San Fran. Yeah, this one was pretty expected. Josh Dobbs, though, continues to play well, not really making mistakes, but just not enough to overcome the wrath of the 49ers, who just look so dominant in every way possible.
CMC, bro, is unbelievable.
He really is. I mean, everyone kind of wrote him off because he was like injured for a year, then he was injured for like half a year. But he's elite. I mean, he's fantastic. If he's healthy, he's the best running back in the league, and he's the best almost catcher in the league. I mean, he's fantastic. I also want to say I love Brock Purdy. 20 for 21. 200 and some yards, again, over 10 yards per attempt. The dude's been playing out of his mind. I don't think he's thrown a pick yet this year. He's only had one turnover, that fumble in the first game. I don't get it. I mean, Brock Purdy's playing out of his mind. Every week, I wait for the week he has a bad game and causes them to lose.
But it doesn't happen.
Like, that's why I was almost, like, I didn't want to take San Fran, like, with the Giants, because I just feel like there's bound to be a game where he doesn't play great. He turns the ball over like 2-3 times. But I don't know if he even has it in him. Like, he might be a top 12 quarterback in the league.
Yeah, he just continues to get the job done. And I can't imagine how all the other teams are feeling that passed up on this 7th round Mr. Irrelevant draft pick.
Yeah, I mean, granted, he has so many weapons.
Yeah,
but
that's
like,
true.
I feel like you put some of these other quarterbacks in the same position, they wouldn't play as well. Like, let me think of an example here. Like, you put Kenny Pickett. I don't think he plays as well as Brock Purdy is playing.
That's true.
You put like Desmond Ridder? Definitely not.
Mac Jones?
No.
No.
People think, Mac Jones is not as good as Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy is much better than Mac Jones.
Agreed.
I'm sorry. I know their weapons are drastically different, but Brock Purdy just does not make mistakes. He doesn't force things.
Right.
He's great. New England at Dallas. Oh, my God.
Another
New England
blowout,
looks horrible, dude. New England looks so bad.
They really do. You can't bet on anyone from their team to get any yardage or anything because they don't do anything.
It's where receivers go to die. Juju Smith-Schuster. Hunter Henry seems like the favorite target these days, but I just can't believe Juju Smith-Schuster has been so bad.
Even Kendrick Bourne, who popped off in week 1, was really just some fool's gold because he put up 2 tuds in week 1 and has not done anything since. I
don't understand it. They're playing like old school ball, Bill Belichick.
He's too old these days, apparently.
I guess so, yeah, but he's just got the most job security in the world after winning those 6 Super Bowls and being dominant for almost 20 years. Yeah, Dallas just looks really good. They look back to normal. Trevon Diggs, obviously, having an effect, but not enough of an effect to really flounder their defense, which is what I thought going into the Arizona game last week. I didn't think that it would have an impact like it did.
Right.
Maybe they just, like, something weird with that Arizona game. That was just weird. They should not have lost that game at all. People saying that Dak Prescott's playing good this year. I mean, he lost them that Arizona game. Like, Dak did not play well enough in that game. And Dak, I don't think's looked great this year. He's just been, behind a great defense that's been, causing them to win and win and win.
Yeah, he's just like playing mediocre football.
Yeah,
but
that's all he has to do.
Right.
Like, I feel like if he, like Brock Purdy, you could say the same thing, but Brock Purdy's playing so much better. I mean, he's 20 for 21. Like, he's playing fantastic. Both of them have great defenses, but Dak, and they have similar, like, good weapons. I mean, you have CeeDee Lamb, but, like, Dak is just very average.
Yeah.
And when, like, this week, when he has to play San Francisco, I'm afraid that he won't be able to. Like, I mean, this is like he lost to Brock Purdy in the playoffs last year. I feel like they have a shot to win against San Fran, but I don't know. I don't believe in Dak. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's fair. He does just tend to play that average football, but we'll see what he does this week.
I guarantee you he'll turn the ball over against San Fran.
No, for sure.
Kansas City at the Jets. Kansas City jumped off to a big lead, and then they just were like, where's Taylor Swift at? And then, Zach Wilson had probably one of his best games of his career. However, there was this one throw I was watching. Threw the ball down the sideline to Garrett Wilson. As it would have been a touchdown. Garrett Wilson had the jump on the receiver, and he just overthrew him a bit. Would have been a touchdown. And then, obviously, he fumbled. So, like, 2 mistakes in this game from Zach Wilson that cost him the game. But he did play better. I honestly think, I mean, there are a couple factors that led to it. Aaron Rodgers is in the building.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Namath absolutely destroyed Zach Wilson this week, like verbally, just like completely trashed him.
Mm-hmm.
So he needed that little extra motivation, but still not enough to get it done against the Chiefs. There were some bad calls in this, though, like some bad reffing, I would say. So, yeah.
Did the Chiefs just decide to take a nap in the second half?
I know. Dude, I saw this one skit where like one guy was playing Roger Goodell, NFL commissioner. Yeah. One guy was playing Andy Reid. Mm-hmm. And Roger Goodell comes up to Andy Reid and is like, hey, like, I need you to make this a game. Like, we obviously thought Aaron Rodgers was going to be playing in this game when we made the schedule. And Sunday Night Football has sucked. All primetime games have sucked. Can you just, like, pull Mahomes or something? Like, just make it a game. And Andy was like, no. And then Roger Goodell was like, we'll give you, like, 5, like, calls or whatever, like, down the road. And then Andy's like, okay. And like it actually like came out to be a game. Like it's hilarious.
Dude, it's the script writers, man. They knew it was happening. They had to make a call.
Yeah. I can't believe Taylor Swift came to this game again. It's like, are they dating? And when did they start dating? Like coming to back-to-back games, this one's even away now.
Maybe they're just piping.
They're just piping, dude? Just like
Kelsey needs a little post-game action.
Dude, he's got that stash, man.
It's a saucy stash.
It is a good stash.
Taylor likes it.
It just seems, like I said last time, like a little bit of a ploy. Like it seems like a marketing ploy. Like all the people coming to the NFL, all the people coming to Taylor Swift, synergistic relationship right there.
That's true. Yeah, it's probably getting a whole bunch of women on board with the NFL now, dude, bringing them into the...
I always thought it was kind of a joke about that. Like, oh yeah, like a bunch of girls are coming over. I went to Travis Kelce's Instagram, looked at his latest post, and nothing to do with Taylor Swift. But in the comments, you have like all these girls commenting like what you're like our stepdad, like our queen, like our mother's queen, or some like crazy shit like that. Like all of them were from Taylor Swift. I was like, it's real, dude. Like actually, like girls are flocking over.
Yeah,
because like Taylor Swift's influence is unparalleled.
Yeah, I heard that he gained like 1 million followers like over the course of a week,
something
or something
like that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. He'll lose them all, though, if they break up, though.
That is
Taylor
true.
writes a song about him.
Yeah.
He a goner.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Seattle at the Giants. I don't know where Vegas was at mentally with this. This was an easy pick for me. It could have been 10-14, though. But instead, Daniel Jones threw a goal line, pick 6. As in, like, his opponent's goal line. Like, it could have been a touchdown, but got returned like 100 yards.
Yeah, even with Geno getting injured, it didn't even matter. Drew Lock.
Yeah, honestly, Drew Lock looked like he only completed like 2 of 5, but like the 2 that he completed, like were the first one like looked really good. Well, first off, he ran for like a first down. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Second one, he had pressure in his face, got the ball out really quick, and had a nice game. And then was like the 50-yarder to Noah Fant that was almost a touchdown.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I always thought, like, when they traded for Drew Lock and, like, sent Russell Wilson to Denver, that Drew Lock would be the starter. I was shocked that Geno got the job. Obviously, it was the right decision, but I still think Drew Lock's a pretty competent quarterback, and he was able to just hold the fort down while Geno, I don't know, stroked it in the bathroom. He's like, dude.
Yeah, I mean, Pete Carroll agrees with you, though, because the announcer said so many times that Drew Lock is ready for this game. Pete Carroll has said that he has utmost confidence in him, that him and Geno battle it every week for the starting job, is what the announcers were saying. I don't know if
I wasn't listening. I honestly, like, I had something going on my computer, so I was just watching, and I had the volume down. Mm-hmm. That's bullshit, though.
Yeah, I know. There's no way that...
Geno's not battling every week for the starting job.
Yeah, I mean, he clearly has it.
He's the better quarterback. I mean, maybe if Drew Lock develops a little bit, but yeah, Drew Lock had some bonehead decisions in Denver.
Yeah.
Anyways, week 4, start and sits. You know, it's much easier, I've learned, to pick some sitters than it is some starters. Jerome Ford couldn't run the ball. I think that other guy, like Pierre Strong Jr. or whatever, was better than Jerome Ford, surprisingly. So there's that. George Pickens, obviously, Steelers got absolutely locked down by the Texans for whatever reason. So that hurt George Pickens. I feel bad for the guy. He's kind of like Garrett Wilson to me, like new receivers on bad teams with bad quarterbacks that could be doing much better. Like you put those, let's find a good team that could use a good receiver. Like I think, You put him on the Chargers. You put him on even on the Titans. I think they do better.
Mm-hmm.
I think they do much better.
Not on the Titans, bro.
Dude, Tannehill would A.J. Brown up one of these guys.
No,
dude,
he would
A.J.
not.
Brown, there's a reason A.J. Brown went to the Eagles. I mean, he had absolute giga numbers when he was in Tennessee.
Bro, they have D-Hop right now.
D-Hop is washed.
He's
Dude,
old, but
Julio Jones went to Tennessee, was bad. Same thing with D-Hop. They're old. They're just...
Adam Thielen's old, and look at him prospering.
I don't know. I do think Tannehill could pull up some good stats for George Pickens or Garrett Wilson, more so than they have right now. But I was correct to sit Ramondre Stevenson and Breece Hall, both of which going up against some tough defenses. Breece Hall had an okay game, I guess. Like, I'm a little bit more generous when it comes to these points. But yeah, Ramondre just couldn't get anything going against the Cowboys. I mean, their whole offense as a whole couldn't get anything going. So, yep, there was that.
Yeah, Ramondre seems to be pretty much a sit almost every week nowadays.
Yeah, unless they go up against like a really light rushing defense.
Which is just crazy because he just emerged as a star last year.
Yeah, I mean, I think he still has it in him, but you got Ezekiel Elliott splitting the carries with him. Mm-hmm. Their offense is bad. They're always trailing. Just not a good spot for really any running back to be in. So
that's true.
Yep.
All right, on to my start and sits. I had a good one again with Thielen. He has been looking so solid for Carolina.
I like him a lot.
Yeah, I like him a lot too. Even without Andy Dalton there, he still, was in double-digit fantasy points this week, which is very nice.
That's all you can ask for.
Yeah. Unfortunately, my Tyler Lockett prediction of 27 points did not come true. He did not have 2 touchdowns. I'm not sure what happened there, dude. I thought I had the script, and
they just didn't pass the ball that great last night. Like,
they didn't.
Geno didn't have even though he went out, when he was in, he didn't have like a great game or anything passing the football.
Yeah, that's true.
But they didn't need to. It was a defensive game. Like, Seattle's defense was like, all right, don't worry, guys. We'll pick off Daniel Jones a couple times, and you'll be fine. Just to kind of take this one off.
Yep. And then my sit of Dameon Pierce also did not hit. Houston has looked too good to sit their players, I feel like. And
yeah, I think Dameon Pierce is fine. I think he's a pretty solid player. Their other running back actually had a passing touchdown as well.
Oh, did he
Devin
really?
Singletary?
Devin Singletary, that's right. I did not know that. So Dameon actually, his numbers were a little underinflated or underwhelming compared to what he should have, because if you were watching this game, he actually had like a 5-yard touchdown catch.
Oh, really?
And then Houston had a penalty, and it got called back. So Dameon did not get the touchdown. He should have had like 20-some points this week if he had that, touchdown for, completion there.
I hear you, dude.
Yeah.
All right, on to the best bets. All my NFL picks hit, which I have to say I'm pretty excited about. But again, I just don't know where Vegas was at.
With the Seattle game.
Yeah. I mean, I think this line eventually moved in favor of Seattle, but like when I got it, they were underdogs, plus 110. Easy.
And even still, it only moved slightly. Like, it moved to like plus or minus 110.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't a lot.
Yeah, I know. I still don't get it, though. Like, I mean, after what we saw from the Giants and after what we've seen from the Seahawks, just really don't understand. Like, sometimes Vegas, like, you always are like, yeah, Vegas knows best. They know something we don't.
Not here.
I thought maybe for this game they do, but didn't end up being out that way. So, happy about that. Happy about Seattle and the Giants staying under 47 points. I was a little concerned there, at the end. There could have been some more scoring, but yeah, it stayed pretty down. Like, Seattle kicked a field goal instead of scoring a touchdown. The Giants, threw some picks. So that was that. Tampa Bay, again, I thought, there was going to be a backup quarterback situation going on here, but even with Derek Carr, he was injured. So it was essentially, effectively a backup quarterback because he was not playing to his full strength. So a nice, easy Tampa Bay money line, plus 140 there. And then Detroit, -1. You could have just taken the money line here as well. They easily covered that spread. This was probably the one I was least sure about, though, because it was in Lambeau, but another blowout. So pleased with that. And then I had 8 college picks. I went 4 for 4, so it's kind of like kissing your sister, you know? It's just like a coin toss, man. But I do have to say 2 of these games I feel like could have gone the other way. Akron lost in overtime by 3 points to Buffalo. And then LSU, you know, that was a crazy, absolute no defense game. But LSU was up 48-40 at some point. But they couldn't hold down Ole Miss, scored a whole bunch after that to win the game. And then LSU didn't score again. Crazy game. And even LSU had a chance to win that game at the end. They were at like the 20-yard line and had some shots at the end zone. But they would have just kicked an extra point and they wouldn't have covered the 2-point spread anyways. So, womp, womp, womp. But I am happy about Colorado, James Madison, both of which covered their spreads. Arizona covered against Washington. Washington didn't look super good. Mizzou covered against Vanderbilt. I love Mizzou this year. They're looking great. And I failed on a couple other spreads here. Northwestern, underdog. 27 points is a lot, but when you're Northwestern, I guess it's not enough. Penn State just absolutely butt pounded you. And then Georgia had a really weird game. Almost lost to Auburn, dude. Wouldn't that be crazy? The one ranked team almost lost to an unranked bad Auburn team. Auburn is bad. They barely threw. They threw for like 60 yards in this game, dude. They have quarterback issues. Mm-hmm. I know it was at Auburn, but it just, weird game. Georgia did win, but only by 7.
Yeah, I mean, it's wild that Georgia's the number 1 ranked team, and they hardly beat Auburn.
They're not the best team in the nation. I think it's Michigan or Texas. Yeah. Georgia's not.
And they hardly beat a team like 2 weeks ago.
South Carolina, yeah.
They were down at first. And
I mean, they have a new quarterback, Carson Beck. And in this game, Auburn had a lot of opportunities. Like, if they could pass the ball like 10% more effectively, could have won the game. If they didn't blow this coverage and let Brock Bowers run wide open in the middle of the field on a 40-yard touchdown that won the game, they had a shot to win. I mean, you should have seen this. This is stupid.
Yeah.
Auburn they're a bad team. Somehow was able to make it close, though, in this game. So, that was my bad overall up. But could have been better on the college front. I had a better week last week.
Yeah, got to commend you there, man. Those were some fantastic picks for you this week.
Thank you, dude. I appreciate it.
The document is just so green. You're just a little green goblin over there, dude, all the check marks.
I'm chasing the green. I'm chasing it. I love it.
I'm seeing a little too much red on my side for my liking, but I did have a couple parlays. I guess one parlay hit this week. So, unfortunately, Arizona plus 14. Again, that was not enough. That's one of the biggest spreads I've seen for an NFL game.
I mean, they put up some points, but it was almost like the Northwestern plus 27. Right. It's like their opponents are just too good.
Yeah, I thought that, because they had beaten Dallas, that they might have been able to get this one done. But, evidently not. Seattle, we already talked about, hit. The Chargers -6 cashed for me. And
a little precarious on that one. Yeah,
that one was very close.
That one probably expanded once you knew that Jimmy Garoppolo was out.
Oh, yeah.
It probably went up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so hopefully you were able to get that when you did.
Yeah.
Philly did not cover -7.5. That game was shockingly close with Washington.
Yep.
But then here we've got the last bet, Baltimore at Cleveland under 41.5. This one we also parlayed with Seattle money line.
So how did your under thing go this week? Because last week, the same strategy you used last week.
Yeah. So there were 6 games that it was the case for that Vegas had the reverse line movement.
Yeah.
And 4 out of the 6 were correct to bet against the public. So again, now this is 2 weeks of sample sizes. 5 out of 6 week 1.
4 out of 6 this week.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I think it might be time for me to jump on board with that. Yeah. It might be time.
Yeah. So it was a good little strategy there. Still not flawless, of course, but no strategy is flawless.
Yeah, no. There's probably going to be a week where it goes like 1-5 at some point. But good stuff, dude. Good stuff. All right, on to week 5. Wow, we spent a lot of time on that assessment, but it's always good to gloat. So let's just run through this. Chicago at Washington, Thursday Night Football.
You can't take the Bears, dude. You cannot take the Bears.
No, we're not taking the Bears at all this year. Absolutely not. Washington obviously has been looking really good except for the Buffalo game, so I expect them to win this game, especially because it's at home. Chicago might be able to expand off what they did with Denver, but I still think that it won't be enough to, go on the road and beat a pretty good Commanders team.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. Justin played well, but it's just not going to be enough to keep up with this team.
I think he'll have another good game. Like, I would start him in fantasy, but no, they won't win this game.
Yeah, I mean, these guys held their own against the Eagles, so I can't imagine.
At Philadelphia, too.
Right, so Washington's taking this win.
Jacksonville at Buffalo is an interesting one. This is not really at Buffalo. It's more in London. Yeah. But Buffalo's designated as the home team, even though Jacksonville's just been kind of chilling there.
Yeah.
They've just been drinking tea for the last 2 weeks. So it really is a home game for them. As I said, Jacksonville has played more London games than any other team in the league. There's a lot of talk that Jacksonville will just move to London. It'll be the London Jaguars.
That would be insane.
Just imagine 10 years from now, you got the London Jaguars.
That'd be nuts, dude.
No more Duval County. But this is a tough one for me. This could be the game of the week. I could see Jacksonville winning this, but I am going to go with Buffalo just because Jacksonville has looked so spotty so far. I mean, they lost to Houston. They really struggled against the Chiefs, which we're learning are not the best team. Buffalo's looked really dominant against good teams, Washington, Miami. So I'm going to take them here. Although, I kind of want to take Jacksonville. I mean, Buffalo had a big win against Miami. Now you're going on the road, like you're traveling across the pond. I don't know. I want to take Jacksonville almost, but we'll go and roll with Josh Allen and Buffalo.
Dude, that kind of surprised me that you're so hesitant with this game. I mean, Jacksonville has not looked great this year, and Buffalo has.
I feel like Jacksonville's going to rise up. Like they've had nice. I mean, it's just the circumstances. It's the circumstances.
What circumstances?
They went to London last week, okay?
Yeah.
Got a nice win against Atlanta. Streamed on Disney Plus. Low stress win. Atlanta has to fly back. Jacksonville's just like, all right, let's go out. Let's drink some beer. Let's go to the pub. Practice here in London. Feels good. We're at home. We've been here before. We're used to it.
Yeah.
Buffalo's coming. We don't like Buffalo. Buffalo is going to be one of our rivals for the future. Trevor Lawrence, Josh Allen. Buffalo just coming off a big win. You know what that happens? Big wins, ultimately.
But they didn't put up 60.
Not 60, but it's still a big win. I just think circumstantially here, Jacksonville has the edge. I mean, Buffalo's the better team. Circumstantially, situationally, Jacksonville's the edge.
Okay.
I'm still taking Buffalo, though.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's fair. I'm also taking Buffalo. I think that, it was not as difficult of a pick for me as it was for you. I have not liked a whole lot what I saw out of Jacksonville's offense, at least.
Yeah, Calvin Ridley, he had the touchdown, but has not looked great.
Right. I mean, Trevor didn't do a whole lot against Atlanta, and that's a terrible defense.
Yeah, I mean, you're playing in Andy's room, dude.
Right.
The weather's great. You got to put up some numbers there, man.
Right, but I don't know. Now they're facing a tough Buffalo defense this week. So
but they did lose. I can't remember who it was. Buffalo lost the defensive piece.
Yeah, I don't think it will matter too much, though.
New Orleans at New England. This is your raccoon game of the week right here, man. This is like the battle of some of the two worst offenses in the league.
Agreed.
I'm done with New Orleans. I don't like them anymore. I think that going on the road, I think Bill Belichick is going to flabbergast Derek Carr as he has in the past.
Yeah.
Although I think Derek Carr did beat him last year, but that's because Jacoby Myers. Remember that game against the Raiders when Jacoby Myers, when he was on the Patriots, literally he lateraled the ball to Max Crosby, who ran it back for a touchdown to win the game. Otherwise, the game
was electric.
The game would have gone to overtime, I think.
Yeah.
But Jacoby Myers was trying to just make something happen at the end of the game, and he lateraled it back to one of his linemen. So that was the only time Derek Carr is being Bill Belichick. I don't think that, especially with his injury, he's going to be able to do so in New England here. Plus, good coaches, they always tend to bounce back in some capacity.
Right.
So I think they'll bounce back from the beatdown that Dallas laid upon them.
Yeah, I'd pretty much just picked New England this week because they were at home. This one felt like a coin flip to me, bro.
Yeah, I don't really care about this game. Tennessee at Indianapolis. I like Tennessee here. Tennessee has always had Indianapolis' number. I would love it more if they were at home because they have tended to play better at home. But I think Anthony Richardson is going to be just very up and down this year. He was up last week. I think he's going to be down against a pretty good Tennessee defense. I want to sit Zach Moss this week because Tennessee's run defense is only allowing like 2.8 yards per carry. So they're going to have to throw the ball. They'll probably put a spy on Anthony Richardson. I think it'll make it tough for him to throw the ball. And Tannehill has just tended to play pretty good against the Colts. They've always had the Colts number. I literally think they're like 5-1 over the last 3 years against the Colts. Maybe even 6-0.
Well, wouldn't the law of averages say that the Colts are due for a victory then?
They could be due. Again, this is a tough one for me. They could win this game. I would love it more if it was at home. I would like it more if Tennessee was at home. I
think that Jonathan Taylor is coming back this week.
Is he?
I believe so. Well, he's no longer on the PUP list.
I would sit him too, though.
Would you?
Tennessee has one of the best run defenses in the league, only allowing like 2.9 yards per carry. I would not start Zach Moss. I would not start a JT coming off of his injury. He hasn't played in like months and months and months.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know, man. I think that the Colts are going to fleece off a little victory here.
I mean, the Colts are always exciting to watch. They're good to watch, so I could see it happening. This is one of those games where I'm like, all right, that's a fair pick to have.
Yeah.
It's not like when you picked Atlanta last week. It's more like when you picked Cleveland last week. I was like, I understand that one.
Yeah.
Baltimore at Pittsburgh. Yeah, I'm done with Pittsburgh. Done picking their clown-ass team.
You have to be, bro.
Yeah, I think Baltimore will absolutely destroy him here. Yeah. Again, it's at Pittsburgh, though, but I don't think it's going to matter. Kenny Pickett's out. Trubisky's in. Trubisky, we know what he is. He's going to turn the ball over, not going to make enough plays. I mean, he's very similar, honestly, to what Kenny Pickett can produce. So I think this is a pretty easy one for me. I'd be surprised if Pittsburgh did anything. Again, it's an interdivisional matchup, so those are always a little tricky, but
we need to come up with a name for Mitch Trubisky that's not a raccoon, but maybe Mitch the meerkat or some little
I like that. He just pops up, when he needs to, and he just shits the bed, just poops all over the floor and then
Mitch
goes back into his hole. Yeah,
exactly, dude. That's gonna be Mitch this week. He's not doing anything against Baltimore, so we're taking Baltimore for sure.
Carolina at Detroit. Now, this is probably the first time that Detroit's been over a 9-point favorite in years. I've never seen Detroit as a 9-point favorite. This is kind of crazy. I don't know about that line. That's a lot of points. I think Carolina could cover that. But definitely taking Detroit here. Detroit lost to Carolina last year. Put them, literally, if they beat Carolina last year, which Carolina was not good last year, they would have made the playoffs. They're mad about that, and they're going to show it, get a little revenge here, beat Carolina.
Yeah, Detroit's offense is just way too good to be given less than 9 points in this game.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but 9 points is a lot. However,
That's
Detroit
true.
is just really good against the spread. Detroit's really good against the spread. So, Houston at Atlanta. So, Atlanta always plays better at home. Desmond Ridder is still undefeated at home in college and in the NFL.
So that's your reasoning for taking him this week.
I think they'll bounce back, dude. Again, Houston, I know they've been good. I like C.J. Stroud, dude. I love C.J. Stroud, in fact. But he's still a rookie quarterback. Atlanta's secondary is pretty good. I don't love Houston here at Atlanta. Coming off some nice wins. I think they're going to come back down to earth a little bit here.
You're betting against the tank. You cannot bet against the tank. He's an absolute military weapon.
I know, dude. I know, but again, like I said, I want you to have Houston, and I'm just Atlanta.
Yeah, I remember you said that the last time.
They play good at home, dude.
Yeah, you didn't pick them. I think it was 2 weeks ago, and you said that you should have because Ridder
against Green Bay.
Yeah, because Ridder has never lost at home.
Eventually he will. Yeah. Let's be honest. That stat will be broken this year at some point.
It's happening this week.
Yeah, it could be. This is a good pick for you. But I do feel I feel more confident in Atlanta than I do Tennessee. I'll say that.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Giants at Miami. Miami's going to bounce back and ram dick the Giants into oblivion here.
Dude, I would love to see that.
Yep. That's all I have to say about this one.
Dude, their dolphin tails are just going to be slapping that water so hard.
I know.
Bro.
Yeah. Giants have to travel to Miami. Oh, feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Feel bad for Daniel Jones. I think that Brian Dable feeling a little disillusioned with Daniel Jones right now.
Yeah.
So I think there's a little conflict, a little issue going on there, and not going to bode well for their season going forward here.
I would have to agree with that.
Cincinnati at Arizona. I find myself still picking Cincinnati. I don't know if there's been a week where I've picked against them. I feel like if you look at my picks, I've picked against Houston and I've picked for Cincinnati a lot, and those have been a lot of my losses.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I picked Cincinnati. I think I picked Cincinnati literally every week, and they've screwed me every week.
Yeah, you have.
So here we go again. At Arizona, I know Arizona's played some good ball, and they're at home, but Cincinnati needs this win. They need it. They absolutely make or break on their season. They fall to 1-4. It's done.
You already said that their season's a scratch. You got to pick Arizona this week.
It is, but they don't know it yet. They think they still could have a chance. I'm looking at their schedule. They got to play the Chiefs, and they got to play the Bills and the Jaguars still.
Oh, my God, dude. They have no shot.
And they might even have to play – I don't think they play the Chargers this year. But they're going to lose, all those games.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's why I think they're done for the season, but they don't believe that yet. So I think they're going to give it their all in Arizona. Easy place to play. It's not, anything cold, nothing too crazy fan-wise. So – Yeah, that's why I'm picking Cincinnati here. But I totally understand, again, your pick with Atlanta or Arizona.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that the Bengal Tigers can survive in the desert, just like the Cowboys came to die there. Same with...
I know, but see, I don't think Joe Burrow, even though he can't push the ball down the field, is going to make any boneheaded end zone interceptions like Dak Prescott did to lose that game for them.
I mean, yeah, probably not, but the Arizona game wasn't really that close. Wasn't it 28-16?
It was, but it was sometime in the fourth quarter. It was maybe with 8 minutes left. Dak Prescott threw an interception in the end zone. Instead, if he threw into triple coverage, let's be real. It was a horrible throw. If they got a touchdown there, what would it be now? So 28-22. They stop Arizona, they get the ball back. They score a touchdown there. They have the momentum. I think they win that game. Dak Prescott didn't play well enough because he's an average quarterback.
Right. Yeah, that's
Joe
fair.
Burrow even beat up. Look at him here. The poor guy can barely plant his back foot, and yet he is still making good decisions. He's not throwing many interceptions. I mean, he's not throwing touchdowns, but he's not throwing really any interceptions either. He's not making really anything happen. He's just kind of dead in the water. But I just think law of averages kicks in here with the Bengals.
Dude, it's not happening this week. It just is not going to happen. The Bengals have hardly put up points so far this season, bro.
No, I know. It's bad. I mean, it is bad. Trust me, I know.
Yeah. I mean, they put up 3 against Tennessee, who, I mean, I guess you did say that Tennessee has a good defense, and I know that the Cardinals don't necessarily have a very good defense, but Burrow's unhealthy. He can't throw the ball downfield. I mean, he hasn't at all.
This is a Joe Mixon game. This is the second Joe.
Well, that's what I was going to say is the only way they're winning this game is if they just give it to Mixon, but I don't see Mixon rushing for 200 yards and 3 tuds on the day.
If McCaffrey can put up 4 touchdowns on Arizona, Joe Mixon could probably get 2.
I mean, I guess that's true, but do you foresee that happening, realistically?
I mean, if there was a nice little line, I'd probably toss a $5 on it, for Joe Mixon to have 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean...
Probably plus 500 or so.
I guess. The Bengals they've only scored 4 or 5 touchdowns on the year here.
No, they've only scored 3, I think. Or they've scored 4. What was it? 3 against Baltimore, 1 against the Rams. I believe so.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep. Fair pick on your part. Fair pick, but yeah, this next one though, I don't like your pick at all. Philadelphia at the Rams. I'm taking Philadelphia all the way. I think they look really good, even going on the road here. They've just looked exactly like they did last year. Maybe not quite as sharp offensively and defensively, but they're still winning, though. And so I think you're not playing your best and you're still winning. Just imagine when they start playing their best, and they're going to as the season goes on here. The Rams have been lucky, I think. They were lucky to beat the Colts. You can't give up 23 points like that and still... I can't believe they did that. Like, that is bad. That was bad. That was really atrocious to a rookie quarterback.
I think the coaches are going to have to, like, they are addressing it this week, and they're like...
They're addressing it.
Yeah, this cannot happen again. And they're going to come out fired up, and they're not going to let up a whole lot of points to Philly.
I just think Matt Stafford's going to throw a pick.
No.
Kyron Williams, he's due for that fumble I was telling you about, dude. He is due for that fumble. It's coming.
Okay.
It didn't come against the Bengals. It could probably come in this game. Philadelphia, they like to get those fumbles. Like against Minnesota, they got like 2 fumbles. Yeah. Maybe even 3 fumbles if you include that touchback one from Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, that's true. I think so. Kupp might be back this week. He might not. Still dealing with that hamstring injury.
That tells me even if he comes back, he's not going to be 100%. So,
but like, I think that when he comes back, it's going to drastically improve the Rams' entire rest of the season because all of these other teams have been watching film on how to try and guard Puka. And when they are going to be analyzing this film, they're going to adapt their defensive strategy to either guard Puka or revert to last year and just guard Kupp. And so one of them is going to continue to get open, I think. Because
it'll help Puka. Like, if anything, Puka will do better.
You think?
I think they'll start covering Kupp a lot. I think Kupp will be still good. I think both of them will be good. My problem with the Rams is their offensive line, Stafford making some poor decisions, and their defense. Those are my 3 issues with the Rams.
Right.
And when you go up against like a top 5 or even 3 team in the league like Philadelphia, they will exploit those problems, especially if you don't have an active, very healthy version of Cooper Kupp yet.
That makes sense. I don't think that the Eagles have been quite as good, though, as they were last year.
I mean, yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
I mean, they would not have nearly lost to the Commanders last year.
Yeah, I know. But the Commanders are better than they were last year, though. Let's be real.
Sam Howell are better.
Sam Howell's playing some good ball. He's good.
I mean, he is, but like he's still not, Patrick Mahomes back there.
I know. Again, this is not... I don't know, dude. I don't like this pick from you. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I like the Eagles here. The Rams...
Hey, you were dogging on me for picking Houston over Jacksonville, and look what happened there.
Well, come on, who else would have picked that one?
Bro,
that one's just mind-blowing.
It was incredible foresight.
That was some good foresight.
Maybe this is the foresight again emerging. I know you were 14-2 last week. You were 14-2 last week.
I'm swinging my big cock around.
Well, I think that it's bound to hit for me this week. I'm not saying I'm
trust
going
me,
14-2.
I like the Rams. Remember, I picked them against Indy. You picked Indy. I picked them against Seattle week 1. You picked Seattle. I know the Rams game.
Okay.
This is just not one. I knew they had a chance to beat Seattle and Indy, but I don't like them here.
All right, man. Well, we will see on Sunday.
I don't like your next pick here either. Kansas City at Minnesota. Mahomes, after having a bad game, is going to be pissed off. He's going to absolutely pick apart the Vikings.
The Vikings
defense is so bad. He's going to pick them apart. I wouldn't be surprised if he had 5 passing touchdowns in this game. I think this could be also the game of the week in terms of just scoring and excitement, but
no.
Kansas
City is not all they're hyped up to be this year either.
I understand that, but like they're totally fine though. Like they are solid. They are steady. They're the turtle. They just go, man. They just take it as they come.
They lost to the Lions.
Without Travis Kelce. They have Travis Kelce in that game. They win that game, dude.
They nearly lost to the Jets with Travis Kelce and Taylor.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but Patrick Mahomes had like an uncharacteristic game, probably like one of the worst games of his career. Probably could have even had 3 interceptions if there wasn't that holding penalty. So I understand that they could have lost and maybe even should have lost against the Jets. But that's an anomaly. Like, this is probably the worst game the Chiefs have played in like a few years.
Yeah.
Last year, they lost against the Colts, who only won like 4 games last year. 3 games or so. So every year they have a game kind of like this.
Right.
And I think they'll bounce back, and against a really bad defense, should be easy for Patrick Mahomes, even with his Walmart receivers.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, dude. Darius Toney is a Walmart receiver right there.
Well, dude, Minnesota's got their Costco receivers. They bring them in bulk.
Yeah, no, they definitely do have way better receivers. And yeah, across the board. TJ Hawkinson, Justin Jefferson, Addison, but nope. Kansas City all the way here.
All right, man. I'm excited to see these picks come to fruition on Sunday.
Another competitive week for us. Dallas at San Fran. I'm worried about Brock Purdy. Like I said, I'm waiting for him to have that like multi-turnover game that you would expect a young quarterback to have. He is basically a rookie because he hasn't started a full season yet. It could be here, but he didn't turn the ball over against Dallas last year in the playoffs. I think he's going to see this as a playoff game. Like, he knows when he's got to really hold on to the ball. I think he knows that the moment he starts making some mistakes, he's in jeopardy of getting benched for Sam Darnold because he is that like Mr. Relevant last pick. So he knows he's got to play like super clean football so he could stay out on the field. He's a smart guy. I love him. Another kid that played against Notre Dame. He lost badly against Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Our freshman year in the Camping World Bowl. Probably don't remember that.
No, I do not at all.
When he was at Iowa State, Breece Hall, Brock Purdy got pummeled by Notre Dame.
Wow.
It's funny, like Sam Howell pummeled by Notre Dame, Brock Purdy pummeled by Notre Dame, Desmond Ridder beat Notre Dame. And yeah, he's the worst quarterback in the NFL.
That is a shocking little stat.
I know. And that game still annoys me. We would have made the playoffs if we beat Cincinnati that year. Anyway, where were we? Yeah, no, I'm still taking San Francisco, but I'm concerned about them. I feel like they're bound to have a clunker here. They've won like 14 straight regular season games.
Yeah.
With Christian McCaffrey. Like, Christian McCaffrey doesn't know what it's like to lose as a 49er, except in the playoffs that time.
You can't bet against him, bro.
I'm not.
He's so lethal.
I mean, I think they'll win. Like, I really do like their chances here.
Yeah.
But Dallas, can get on a roll defensively.
Right.
They're dominant.
Yeah, I would have to
I think they might even have a better defense than San Fran. It's tough, though.
Yeah, they're both extremely competitive defenses.
But Dallas on the road, though, not as good as at home. Like, Dallas at Arizona looked very average.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You taking San Fran here?
I am taking San Fran, dude. I got to pick San Fran. Rolling with my Super Bowl pick.
Yeah, dude. They need to get back there. San Fran, Buffalo, I like that right now.
Yeah.
Green Bay at Vegas. Oh, my God. What is this Monday Night Football shit, dude? This game is garbage to me. I don't give a rat's ass about this game. Jordan Love against Aiden O'Connell, maybe Jimmy Garoppolo. Devontae Adams' revenge game is the most interesting thread in this game here, but I'm taking Green Bay. This is basically a bye week for them, Thursday to Monday.
Yeah,
because they played Thursday. They don't play again until Monday. That doesn't happen often. Lots of time to prepare. Even though I guess the Giants played Thursday at San Fran, then they played at Seattle. They had a lot of time to prepare and just looked horrible. I think Green Bay will look really good. They should be able to put the Raiders to sleep in Vegas. Doesn't matter if Jimmy Garoppolo plays. I don't think even if he does, he'll be 100%. So yeah, I don't care about this game. These are just bad primetime games all around. Like, I really think the NFL has had maybe a historically bad start to the season in selection of primetime games. But to be honest, there have been a lot of blowouts this year. I mean, you look at this past week, you probably would have made like Denver, Chicago, probably Washington, Philly, Kansas City Jets. I guess those are fine games, but just none of the games have been just like that good.
Right.
So, but yeah, I know you have a slightly different take here.
I do have Vegas this week. I'm a little surprised that you're riding Green Bay after what we saw out of them against the Lions.
I just think that they're well coached. They're going to bounce back. Plenty of time to prepare for this game. Vegas has not looked good. Their offensive line looks bad. Green Bay has a pretty good defensive front.
I mean, the Raiders still held their own against the Chargers, though. I mean, that game...
Oh, because Brandon Staley is a horrible coach, dude. Matt LaFleur, 10 times the coach that Brandon Staley is, would never make... You have Matt LaFleur coaching Justin Herbert on the Chargers. They beat Miami. They beat the Titans. They're 4-0. And this game wouldn't have been close against the Raiders. I think Brandon Staley is the limiting factor on the Chargers there, dude. He's the reason that they're going to either lose in the playoffs or not even make the playoffs. I just can't stand that coach.
I know,
make some
really
boneheaded decisions. I mean, dude, he went for it on 4th down again after he almost lost his job for doing it in the game prior. He does it again.
Dude, I think it was like he needed to like cover the spread or something, or like Vegas needed to make a call or something like that.
Then Bro needs to get suspended, like Jameson Williams or Calvin Ridley for doing this betting, because I mean he is just bad.
Yeah, I know.
Like, why does he do this? Like, he knows he's on the brink of getting fired. Why does he keep doing this? And now he's got like this beard going. He's looking gray, dude. He literally looks like he's losing it. He looks bad.
Yeah, he does look bad, and I know he's not the greatest coach.
The Raiders are a bad football team, dude. With Aiden O'Connell, you almost blew it to a rookie quarterback out of Purdue.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I do like your pick, actually, of Green Bay.
Have I convinced you here?
I'm not going to change it, but like for the pod, but
okay.
I'll keep it at Vegas.
All right.
But like I was so hot on Green Bay last week, and then just after I watched them against Detroit, and granted Detroit has a very nice defense, but I did not like what I saw out of Green Bay in that game.
No, I know that's fair, but I just think Detroit's like a top 5 team in the league.
Yeah, that's true. Green Bay doesn't seem like they have many weapons on offense either. Like,
I mean, I like Christian Watson. He's back. Romeo Doubs looks good. They need to get Aaron Jones more involved. I think they could be okay.
That's true, but like they didn't throw the ball to Watson at all. Like he had a touchdown catch, but that was it. He had like 2 targets or something.
I do like their offense. Like Luke Musgrave, rookie tight end, like he looks pretty good too. We're going a little long, so we're going to like just kind of speed through the remainder of our picks here, but we have some banger star and sits, and most importantly, our best bets for the week, which you need to listen to. So hang around here. My starts for week 5 are Russell Wilson and James Conner. No one likes Russell Wilson anymore except me. I've been starting him in 2 of my fantasy leagues, and he's been putting up like 20 points a week. I mean, he's had 3 touchdowns in several of the games so far. I mean, he looks good. Not turning the ball over a ton. He can run now and again, so you maybe get like 20 to 40 rushing yards out of him. I like him a lot against the Jets here. I know it's a pretty good defense, but I just think he's one of those quarterbacks where like the offense runs entirely through him. Like Javonte Williams is banged up. You don't trust Samaje Perine a ton. So if they score, it's because of him. Like same thing with Justin Fields and Anthony Richardson. I think those are pretty good starting quarterbacks. You don't really have to worry about someone taking the load off them. James Conner, Arizona, Bengals. I like starting him. The Bengals don't have the best rushing defense in the world. Derrick Henry absolutely chewed them up last week. I think James Conner won't go to the extent that Henry did, but he will still have a pretty good game, even though I think the Bengals will win. I am seeing Zach Moss for the opposite reason, because the Titans have a great rushing defense. Joe Mixon had he had a fine game, but overall, the Titans have locked up the run pretty good. So I don't like Zach Moss in this game. Could be wrong, though. Like, it's very flaky. A couple of receptions leads to a touchdown. He could have a good game, but that's just my predictions.
No, yeah, those are good picks. And I think the Zach Moss one is definitely a good sit since JT might be back this week.
That too.
Yeah. So my starts and sits for the week, I'm starting Zay Flowers on Baltimore against Pittsburgh. So I think that he is due for a good week against a terrible Pittsburgh defense.
Pittsburgh's defense is fine.
No, they're not, dude. They're not fine. They've been so bad.
CJ Stroud him up a little bit here.
Yeah, they got cooked last week.
I don't love this one, though, out of you. I don't love your sit either.
Okay. Well, T-Law is not going to do well against Buffalo, dude.
I think that this could be his best game of the season. I could see like a 4-touchdown, 2-pick game out of Trevor Lawrence.
No way. It's not happening. I would dude, I would not start T-Law this week.
I just think he knows, like, all right, I wasn't able to do against Patrick Mahomes, but I believe in myself. I was the number 1 pick. I need to give it my all against Josh Allen. Like, I need to do everything I can here. Like, there are games like this where, like, quarterbacks have to rise to the occasion and give it their all. And they'll be trailing in this game. So I could see him having multiple turnovers, but also having, like, 3 or 4 touchdowns.
I mean, it's possible, but, like, he has not shown that in any other game. And Josh Allen even stomped out Tua, who I think is,
I mean, Tua still had a decent game. He almost threw for, like, I think it was like about 9 yards a clip.
Yeah, but they still only scored 20 points, though. Like, I don't see Jacksonville putting up that much again when I think that Jacksonville has a worse offense than Miami. Would you agree with that?
I agree with that, but remember, situationally, they have the edge. They're just chilling in London, dude. Dude, you underestimate this London thing. The amount of flight time, like, traveling over there, like, does a number on you.
I know. That's
honestly
true.
Don't like. I mean, I think that still could even affect Atlanta this week. Like, if Atlanta loses to Houston, I'm gonna say it's because they had to fly back from London.
No, that's a terrible excuse.
It's a big deal, though.
It's a big deal, but Atlanta's just a worse team than Houston.
I mean, maybe, but like, there are a lot of factors that play into these. Like, is Dallas a worse team than Arizona?
No.
But situationally, they were able to get him there. So I think, yeah, but I like Trevor Lawrence in this game. I think he could have one of those Kirk Cousins performances, like 4 touchdowns, 1 fumble, 1 interception, like 400 yards, something crazy like that.
Right. Okay. And then lastly, we are sitting Miles Sanders.
Yeah, you can sit him. I'm cool with that.
Dude, I would not trust anyone on Carolina, even though he's the bell cow. Like, for Carolina, I would not trust him. I love that. I would definitely not trust him against a strong Detroit defense here. So
I love that. I really love that because they locked up Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon easily.
Yeah. I think that we actually skipped a pick here in the Jets at Denver game above. Do we want to go back to that real fast?
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, another one.
Yeah, well, Denver's going to win that game, I think, easily. Denver's going to build off this win, that they're turning the corner. I'm pushing all the tokens in, like, poker-wise. I'm all in on Denver now.
Dude, they barely beat the Bears. They were getting smoked by the Bears.
But now they know they could do it. They know that they know they could do it now. I love the resilience they showed in that game. Okay. They have a ton of momentum and confidence coming off that comeback win. Russell Wilson's playing well. The Jets just lost a heartbreaker at home. Now they have to go all the way over to Denver.
They're going to be hungry for the win, though. The Jets want this one, bro.
Denver's defense stepped up. I think they're going to scare Zach Wilson here.
I mean, I wouldn't say that Denver's defense like really stepped up unless you're talking about this like the second.
I mean,
half
they just completely stunted Justin Fields. They got the necessary like scoop and score fumble, and then they stopped him on 4th down there at the end, and then they got the interception to seal the game. Like, Denver's defense, like, the amount of momentum coming into this game.
But like, they still at first let up 4 touchdowns.
I get that, but that, like, just pretend. Like, string that onto the Miami game. Like, 6 quarters, and then now 2 quarters of the Bears game, and then the 4 of the Jets game coming up here. It's going to be like a new leaf for them.
Okay. Well, we will see.
So what is that, like 6 different?
I think
Vegas?
6 different.
Yep, okay, cool. My best bets for the week, I'm not like, I don't know. Like, this was a tough week for me picking these, but I do still feel a little magic in these. We're going to roll with Tennessee here again. They've burned me before, and then when I pick against them, they win. So, I don't know. We'll see here. Going to take their money line at Indianapolis for reasons I discussed. Denver, covering that spread. I think they will easily cover a -2 spread, -110 with the Jets there for reasons we discussed. Now on to my college picks. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4,
8.
5, 6, 7, 8 again. Look at that. I'm really hoping for at least 5. Like, if I can get 5, I'll feel good about myself. I love Washington State's money line. You could take them with the spread as well, but I'm just going to take them straight up to win. I cannot believe they're an underdog. I know they're on the road at UCLA. UCLA kept it close against Utah, but we know Utah is not all that. Let me string this one together for you. Utah beat UCLA 14-7. Mm-hmm. Utah then lost 21-7 to Oregon State.
Yeah.
Washington State beat Oregon State like 35-28.
Dude,
okay?
it's the link.
There's the link for you. Washington State, Cam Ward, the quarterback, is fantastic. I don't even know if he's thrown a pick yet. They've played better opponents. They've played Wisconsin, Oregon State. UCLA's only played Utah. So I would take them. You could take the spread. You could take the money line, whatever you want. North Carolina coming off a bye. Playing at home against Syracuse. I almost took Syracuse last week to cover against Clemson. I'm glad I didn't. They did not cover that spread. So I'm going to now flip the script. Take North Carolina to cover the 8.5-point spread against Syracuse at home. Coming off the bye, I think they will be able to do this. Although that is a lot of points. That is a lot of points.
Yeah.
But I still like they came through for me against Minnesota a couple weeks ago. So I like them here again. This one, I'm a little unsure about. I like LSU to bounce back a little bit, but I'm going to take Missouri. 6.5-point underdogs at home. LSU's defense looks horrible. Missouri's offense looks pretty good. They're looking really good this year. I'm happy for them. Happy to see a little bit more parity in the SEC. So I'm going to take them to cover that spread. Not sure. I could see them winning this game, but I'm just going to take the spread for this one. I love Texas here to cover the 6-point spread against Oklahoma. This is the Red River Showdown. Neutral site, played in Dallas. But I think there will be more Texas fans here than there will be Oklahoma fans. Both teams have looked good. Both teams are undefeated. Texas has played a higher level of competition. They've played Alabama, obviously. They played Kansas. Oklahoma played Cincinnati. They only scored 20 points against Cincinnati. I don't love that. I just think that Texas should be able to win this in a high-scoring matchup by more than 6 points. I love Colorado to cover the 4-point spread at Arizona State, coming off of a hard-fought loss where they showed that they could contend with these big schools. They could have beat USC if they didn't make those mistakes early. So I like them to cover the 4-point spread at Arizona State. They need to win this game if they want to make a bowl. Georgia has not covered the spread once this year. I don't think they will. Hosting Kentucky, 14.5 points. That's a lot against an undefeated Kentucky that's now ranked, coming off a big victory against Florida. Although this one does scare me a little bit. Like I could see Georgia bouncing back, but I do like Kentucky here. Notre Dame at Louisville. Louisville has played a very low level of competition here. I'll link one up for you guys again. Louisville just played North Carolina State. They barely beat North Carolina State 13-10. Notre Dame blew North Carolina State out of the water in the second half after that rain delay. So I like them to go on the road and to cover the 6.5-point spread here. But I do love that Louisville got ranked just in time for Notre Dame to play them. They're 25, so
big time for our chances of making.
I know
the
it's
playoffs.
like it's a good little resume booster. I mean, Notre Dame just has to beat USC next week, and they just can't lose. But it's nice. It'll just look nice for them to have another ranked win here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, good job Louisville for getting ranked just in time for this game, because you could have easily lost to North Carolina State. So I appreciate that. Nebraska. The Cornhuskers, who just got blown out by Michigan. I like them to go on the road and to cover the 3.5-point spread against Illinois. I don't know. This kind of is a delusional pick for me. Very degenerate of me to pick the Cornhuskers here. I just like them. They've played a lot of competition. Like they've played Colorado and Michigan, Minnesota. Illinois just got blown out by Purdue, who just got blown out by Wisconsin. So I like Nebraska here to cover that spread, maybe even win this game. I think they're cultivating and garnering a lot of good experience for them to turn around and hopefully next year and the year on be a better football team. Like, I mean, Rutgers looks good. Maryland, I love Maryland this year. I almost would take them to cover the spread against Ohio State, but I just don't like the fact that Ohio State had the bye coming off a big win. Lots of time to prepare that game. So those are my picks. Woo, lots. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, dude, I especially like your Colorado one there. I feel like you have picked Colorado against the spread like every single week, and they've always covered for you.
Yeah, I mean, I picked them, I think, against Nebraska. That was an easy one earlier in the year.
You picked them last week.
Yeah, I like them. I like Colorado a lot this year. I mean, they're just very well coached. And, yeah, I mean, Arizona State just not very good.
Fair enough. All right, I've got three money line picks this week and then one parlay. So we kind of already talked about it earlier, but I am still riding Houston money line against the Falcons here at plus 112. They're underdogs.
That's fair.
I like the plus value here. Second, we've got Arizona money line.
Love Arizona. I think this is the third time you've included them.
Dude, they're cashing here.
Because you did the Giants.
Yeah.
You had them last week, right? Mm-hmm. To cover the spread. So this is the third time,
Yeah, this time we're taking them straight up against the Bengals, though. They are plus money at home against where they've already beat Dallas and against a Bengals team who has shown very little signs of getting anything started on offense.
I agree. It's a fair pick. I just, for reasons discussed, I like the Bengals.
Fair enough. And then, so this is my most interesting pick here. I have Dallas money line at plus 158. So I picked San Fran in our picks of the week.
This is mind-boggling.
Yeah, I know. Like, I think that San Fran will win this game.
It's good value.
That's the whole point behind the bet. This is probably one of the only games this entire year where Dallas is going to be plus money, plus 158 on Dallas to win this game, in a game that I could see it going either way. Like, if 49ers lose to Dallas, no one's going to be, like, shocked, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's going to be like...
It'll be because Brock Purdy turns the ball over, I think.
Right.
Like, if they were to lose.
Yeah, which could happen. Like, it's...
Oh, yeah. I mean, he hasn't had an interception all year.
Right.
Law of averages.
Yeah. So, like... I do still think the 49ers will win this game, but I love the value at taking Dallas plus 158 here.
Yeah, I honestly will probably most definitely bet on Dallas because I like San Fran so much. So it's like, remember when I bet on Ohio State?
Yeah.
It's like almost buying a Notre Dame victory. It's like, how much would you buy Notre Dame to win that game?
Right.
And so like if you lose, it's like, whatever. I won the money because Ohio State won. But you're sad because Notre Dame lost. I bet on Duke. But I was still happy because Notre Dame won. I wasn't sad I lost money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
so I love that strategy. It's like you just can't. It's like so good for the mental psyche. You know what I mean? So I will bet on Dallas here.
Nice, dude. Good stuff. And then just finally the parlaying of all of those three together is plus 12-12.
The 12-12, yeah.
Nice little saucy alliterative number.
I'm kind of done with parlays at the moment because like one of them like just will fuck me, it's just like, and then you don't get rewarded for the three you got right.
That's true.
So that's where we stand. That's it. That's all we got for you guys today.
Yeah. Thank you, as always, for listening.
Yeah. Hopefully we can pump out a couple of shorts. Jake's going to brew up a couple of nice parlays and he's going to get over the cauldron, his potions and get out the wizardry book and,
Dude, the sorcery is going to be occurring in full form this week.
Yeah, so tune back in on Thursday and then Saturday, Sunday, whatever, Monday, whenever you want to put them out for that. I might do something college football related because that's kind of my niche. I love college football. So far, college football has been better than the NFL this year, in my opinion. And yes, very excited for the Red River Showdown. There was a game I stayed away, Alabama at Texas A&M this week. I like Alabama in that game. I'll just say that, but some good college football games. So thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. I'll see you next week. Well, we'll see you later this week, but in the pod next week. All right, guys. Bye now.